Smasnuk. So, I've been using smartphones since about 2013, right? Back then I was 11 years old. My first SIM was under my parents' name because I wasn't old enough to own a SIM by myself. My first phone was a Nokia Lumia 630. It was wonderful at the time. It ran Windows Phone 8.1 and it ran the 2 apps and 1 web clip that I needed, which were YouTube, WhatsApp, and I forgot. What was the last one? Vine. It was Vine. I became an Android user in 2015 when I got an LG Spirit. As much as a shit phone that was also my first Android phone, so I had many connections to that, obviously. That was my first Android phone, and I've been an Android user up until 2019, and we'll get into that. So I've been an Android user, right? So we're having a Xiaomi Mi A2 Lite. Go on. This phone is stuck on this boot animation. This phone refuses to fully boot up. I flashback stock Oreo this, it just does this. No command. We can fix that. Which was it? What was the button combination to get into recovery? There we go. It's all the way at the bottom here. Power off. This Honor 5X I have had in 2016 after the LG Spirit looks alright except for the bottom. The bottom is mega screwed. I've been in this phone and I've not been kind to it. I think the phone even got bent a little bit while I was playing PUBG Mobile. In a fit of rage I just bent the phone. This one's battery is flat. This needs a charge. In 2019 I got this. This is an iPhone 8. I bought this case before Linus Tech Tips was cringe, so don't talk to me about this case, okay? We're good? We're good. So, iPhone 8. You can see it's jailbroken. When I got it, it was on iOS 13. I've used it for about a year. It's a good screen size for one-handed usage, but also media consumption kind of sucks because it is 4.7 inches. This is the iPhone 13 Pro. So, iPhone 13 Pro. This was also a wow moment for me because if you look here, it has a 120Hz screen in it. So, I've been an Android user. I'm currently an Apple user. I just think iOS makes more sense at this current stage. This current point in time, I'm looking at Android and I'm saying like, why would I buy this over an iPhone? Because if you look at Samsung and One UI 7, you see that the S25 Ultra is more or less just the same as last year's phone, but it looks a little bit different. They glued on some camera rings. The internals, they removed the battery from the S Pen and the charging coil for that is still there. So it's clear that there were some budget cuts that were like sort of last second, I suppose, and then they somehow had to innovate even though their innovation is really just taking away features and lobotomizing the OS, which kind of sucks, honestly. It really does just look to me like a Chinese iOS clone now. A Korean company makes their OS look like a Chinese clone. That's not good. Like, why would I now buy a Samsung phone over an iPhone, considering that the OS is pretty much like iOS. It tries so hard to be iOS. Samsung used to have Soul, and as such there's a big debate. What was the last good Samsung phone? I have never been a Samsung user. My brother has been a Samsung user. He had a Galaxy S5 and a Galaxy S8 after that. And after that, I gave him my iPhone XR because he grew tired of his Galaxy S8 because he hated One UI. So I converted my brother to an iPhone user after Samsung kind of messed with the software on the Galaxy S8. One UI 1 was not good. It removed features that Samsung Experience had, like being able to hide your navigation bar in any app. That is still not a feature they've added back. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's still not a feature they've brought back. Bring back immersive mode, Samsung. So, what is the last good Samsung phone? This is mostly regarded on the internet as a Galaxy Note 9 / Galaxy S9. The reason for that is because it's the last phone without a hole punch or a notch. It's really just a wide curved screen. I respect that choice. It's a valid choice in my opinion. Galaxy Note 9, Galaxy S9, those are very modern looking phones. However, I think I could one-up that. I think I know what the last good Samsung phone is. $20 plus 9. Oh, I'm over 21.
Aw, dang it!
Don't gamble, kids, because a house always wins. So, this is what I believe to be the last good Samsung phone. This is a Galaxy Note 10 Plus 5G. This is the Exynos version because I'm European and we get the international versions of the phones. We don't get the American Snapdragon models, even though the Snapdragon model technically has a better GPU. We don't get those. We get Exynos. This one is in the pretty Aura Glow color. I wish phone companies made more colors like this. This Aura Glow color is just sick, man. You can see all the reflections and stuff. Yeah, this made for a really pretty color. So, Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Why do I think it's the last good Samsung phone? Well, we'll start off with the hardware. What can we see from the outside? First of all, it's still a very modern looking phone. There's a little camera module here. The camera bump is not huge on this. It's actually very flat. Like if you put this flat on a table without a case, it wouldn't wobble a lot. Just from the outside already, it looks very modern. It has USB-C. And it has a very tall 6.8-inch hole punch display. Hey guys, Editing Andy here. Now, I didn't point this out in the video, but I want you to see this so that you cannot unsee it. This Galaxy Note 10 Plus has a little bit of an OLED defect on this corner. I can show you why, though. The phone got dropped on this corner and caused this OLED defect to form in the lower right corner. It's nothing major. If you use any dark mode app, it will disappear because it's in the general area of the navigation bar. But now that you see it, you can't unsee it. You're welcome. So, just from a hardware design standpoint, this is very modern. Let's talk about the software. The software is not the newest on this because obviously it's not a new phone. This runs Android 12 One UI 4, but you can see here, this is what One UI 4 looks like. It looks very modern still. And there's all your apps and stuff. One UI 4, Android 12. Performance-wise, this phone is still very snappy. I would consider this a modern phone. This is still like super performant. Look, if I open up settings, that's pretty much instant. Discord takes a little while to load, but it's still pretty fast. Dolphin emulator loads the UI pretty much instantly. There's YouTube Shorts. It directly loads into Shorts sometimes. It just does that. Firefox, there you go. Really, this is still a very performant phone. This is from 2019. Let's get into more bit performance. Let's for example play Jetpack Joyride, and I just got a notification from this app because I opened it. Oh yeah, I forgot I turned off this. There you go. I mean, Jetpack Joyride is not a hard game to run, so, you know, it should be pretty obvious that this runs quite well. So let's try something a bit more demanding. Dolphin Emulator. So, how does it emulate GameCube games? Let's, put that to the test. You might think, oh, Vulkan is available, let's use that, because obviously that's going to give the best performance. Let's jump into a game with Vulkan. Let's just do that. So here's Mario Kart Double Dash. Let's just load it to a race and see what happens. Oh, why is everything blue? Probably because it's a Mali GPU. Vulkan is just broken. Like you can see here that the whole screen is covered in the pause menu shaded blue. So what can you do? Well, you can try OpenGL, but OpenGL is bad, it's laggy, it's slow. But that's also the only way you can play video games on this. So let's put it on OpenGL. Here's the game running with OpenGL, and as you can see, it's no longer all covered in that pause video shade of blue. However, this is also the only game I've gotten to run smoothly on this phone with OpenGL. Games like Metroid Prime will absolutely choke with OpenGL instead of Vulkan. However, Vulkan, as you saw, is very buggy with the Mali GPU. That's just something you can't change. I imagine the US version of this phone, which has a Snapdragon 855, runs GameCube games much better because I actually have Dolphin Emulator on the Pixel 4 XL, and that phone in particular also has a Snapdragon 855. So yeah, that's that. Also, here's a fun little thing. This phone can run Half-Life 2. Ooh, you can see the chug as I'm out here in City 17. Yeah, looking over in that direction chugs, but then we look over here and it's fine. So the story with this port is, this port was a port for Android for the NVIDIA Shield. The NVIDIA Shield was basically a controller with a screen stuck to it. I'm not talking about the NVIDIA Shield TV or NVIDIA Shield tablet, those came later. Talk about the original NVIDIA Shield. And that thing ran Android, so Valve kind of wanted to see what sort of performance they could get out of it, so they ported Half-Life 2 to Android, specifically for the NVIDIA Shield. The NVIDIA Shield, you may not have heard of it before, because it's been abandoned and so has this port. But a somewhat talented developer has actually made this game run on any Android device that, well, is powerful enough to run this. And so that's what you're seeing here. So Half-Life 2 on Android is very fun. The battery in this has a 4,300 milliamp hour battery. However, this being a 6-year-old phone, the capacity is nowhere near that now. If I open up AccuBattery, like now it says that the battery health is 77%, and I can still get a full day's usage out of this battery. I barely use my full network. I get a daily screen time about 2.5 to 3 hours. It's enough for me. So yeah, Galaxy Note 10 Plus. That is, in my opinion, the last good Samsung phone. Also, we obviously gotta talk about this being a Note. It has an S Pen, and this is still the old wireless S Pen. So not only does it have hover and the draw functions, but not only does it have the hover and draw functions, but it also has all those neat little gestures. Like, I believe this can this can change camera modes. It can also act as a shutter button. Yeah, there you go. I just took a black picture. So yeah, so that's why I believe this is the last good Samsung phone. Not only is One UI not a complete dumpster fire, it's also still a very modern design. And sure, the Galaxy Note 9, Galaxy S9, those are modern designs too, but I really prefer this design, and so that's my reason for that. So that's the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Huge thanks for watching. I'll probably do more content like this in the future whenever I have the time and creativity to come up with something, I suppose. Hopefully there will be more content like this, because I kind of wanted to branch out instead of just uploading Metroid randomizer videos like I've been doing on repeat on this channel. So there you go. That's the Note 10 Plus 5G Exynos. Like and subscribe. I'll see you all next time. Is this the world's last good Samsung phone? Let's find out.